Hello and welcome to Thrive at Home. My name is Sam.
Hi, I'm Carrie, and today we want to talk about giving your spouse and partner the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
And we posted on social media earlier this week, and I just wanted to say it again here. Give your spouse the benefit of the doubt until facts reveal the opposite. It's possible for us to jump to false conclusions based on past experiences and fears. And that is such a true statement.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you're playing poker or playing a game of cards and it comes around your turn, and when you're just supposed to be making the bet, you're laying all your cards down. Like and you jump to conclusions, you really have nothing left to play. So here's an experience I had this week, because it's always good for us to practice what we preach. I had an interaction at work where I had been sick for a few days, and in a meeting I was sick, and I said, you know what, hey, I'm going to probably be leaving right after this meeting. Well, what really happened was I answered a phone call, and I had a whole case I had to deal with, and so I was not able to leave then. My boss didn't know that. Okay, let another supervisor know when I left. Anyway, submit my time card. Very important to have good time card. And I get an email later that day saying, hey, I thought you left at this time, And I immediately responded, but that email started to eat me up.
Yeah.
Right? It really started eating me up. And I called Carrie.
Yeah, he was pretty frustrated on the phone.
And I left right on time instead of staying late, came home, kicked the ball. I lost some sleep that night, really felt like, wow, I need to do something. So the next morning, I actually was praying about it. And so often we tell couples, you start with your feelings. Well, I feel, and I think that's good. But when we say I feel, again, we're laying cards down that in this case, we're talking about giving the benefit of the doubt. I didn't know what was going on. Another thing we say is, this is what I'm hearing. I felt judged. I felt criticized. I felt like, is that what you meant? Which I think is great. That's a magic bullet. But I really felt just to walk in and say, hey, what were you intending, or what were you feeling when you wrote the email? As it turns out, nothing. Nothing. I just was surprised, and so I wrote just in case there had been an honest mistake or something. Well, that, of course, changed everything, because all these feelings of feeling judged and scrutinized, all that was incorrect. And I was just thinking, how often do we do that as couples? Something happens, and I take that and I jump to conclusions with a misinterpretation.
Right.
And I get all bent out of shape, and then I react in a bent out of shape way. And the first person is like, what? And they feel attacked, and you can't solve fake problems.
Right.
I mean, if you don't have, if it's an imagination, you can't solve imagination.
Right. So when we respond as though we've been attacked, but that's our reality. But if it hasn't had a little bit of a breath or a little bit of a moment to set that feeling aside and check in with the other person and just say, hey, what was going on for you when you made that comment? Or were you feeling anything one way or another? I'm just really curious. And asking that. And then, it may be nothing. Maybe they just got their words out of shape or bent wrong or in the wrong order, which then triggers a defensiveness in us. And that defense, if we go in attacking back, then we're just going to invite a defense back at us. And that's where the fake problem comes from, because many times it wasn't anything to begin with except whatever it stirred up in you.
So what you often talk about is just putting a little time in there. Just lay the feelings aside and ask for some more facts. And I think that's so true. And I just know that, and one of the things I learned in this, and I have said this to couples, but I learned it for myself, is that email and text messages should probably always be reserved for neutral to positive communication.
Or at least interpreted neutral or positive.
Yes, but if I'm going to communicate, assume that it's going to be neutral or positive, because these are forms of communication that do not have emotions. I know we have emoticons, right, that we can add, but I don't know how many people put like the devil, type of thing. I'm saying this to you. But I guess because, right, here's another thing about text messages, is that gaps in communication are often unavoidable. Like somebody's driving, or somebody's at work, or somebody, a meeting,
or
and
left their phone at home or something.
And so now space can be interpreted as the silent treatment.
Right.
Okay, so I just would not want to use those means as that, even though here it was, I interpreted one negatively. So if you're gonna have a negative conversation, or one that's, could be very easily interpreted that way, probably should have it face to face.
Right.
Because this is a true story, that a literal, like the autocorrect changed a word from a can to a can't, and it changed the meaning of the text message, and that altered somebody's night
perception.
I mean, one interpretation. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. Give your spouse, give other relationships the benefit of the doubt. Ask what was going on for them. Then you'll have that accurate read. So you don't have just sort of you operating based on imagination.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're Thrive at Home, and we hope this was helpful. See you next time.